I'm that kid on every playground who's always chosen last. I'm the one who's slower than the others in my class. You don't have to be my friend, but is it too much to ask? I was born a little different. I do my dreaming from this chair. I pretend it doesn't hurt me when people point and stare. There's a simple way to show me just how much you care. Don't laugh at me. Don't call me names. Don't get your pleasure from my pain. The lyrics are chosen from the song Don't Laugh at Me, sung by Mark Wills. My mother used to play it for me as a child, in the hopes that I would grow up to be a more accepting individual. I chose these lines in particular because they highlight the struggles of individuals with special needs, whether it be a learning disability or a physical one. Over the last semester, it has been brought to my attention that the education of individuals with special needs, particularly full inclusion education, is largely misunderstood and/or poorly executed. For those of you who do not know what full inclusion is, it means integrating children with special needs into general education classrooms instead of separate classrooms. Of course, this task is easier said than done. However, the benefits of a full inclusion classroom are tremendous, not only for the individual with the disability, but also for the teachers and students around them. However, we cannot reap those rewards without educating ourselves on the matter first. According to special education professor G. Bless and psychologist D. Morin, the subject area concerning the full inclusion education of special needs children is largely under-researched. This lack of knowledge on the subject has led to its dismissal as a viable means of education, as well as its poor execution in the classroom. When I was in high school, the kids with special needs were taken to a separate classroom to learn. If they weren't in a separate room, they were sat at the back of our classroom with a paraprofessional to assist them. Separated classrooms, obviously, are the opposite of a full inclusion classroom. And, according to Bless and Morin, separated classrooms do not provide any benefits to their students. As for students participating in the back of the classroom, this is not the goal of a full inclusion classroom. In this setting, the student requiring special accommodations is still very much separated from the rest of the classroom. As Cheryl Jorgensen states in her essay, "Inclusion means more than just being in." Full inclusion means integrating those students with special needs with the rest of the students in the classroom, seating them among their peers, and engaging them in the learning process. Separation isolates and hinders a student's ability to learn and grow. It does not nurture it. Furthermore, inclusive classrooms have significant effects on both the students with special needs as well as the other students and faculty around them. According to a research study conducted by Pietzma in 2001, the longer a student was involved in a fully inclusive classroom, the more positive the outcomes became. For example, after 2 years, students in full inclusion classrooms showed more significant progress in their literacy skills than their counterparts in a separated environment. After 4 years, fully included students began to show a greater progress in mathematical skills as well as literacy than their separated counterparts. As for the students and faculty involved in creating a proper full inclusion classroom, according to Ms. Jorgensen, they gain a better understanding and sense of respect, which they did not have previously, for individuals who cope with disabilities on a daily basis. Also, they gain the knowledge of how to conduct themselves and speak to these people with disabilities without offending them. You see, inclusion is the solution. We just need to work towards better understanding it. It allows us to create a more understanding and empathetic environment, which I believe are important traits to have in today's society. Don't you? Don't laugh at me. Don't call me names. Don't get your pleasure from my pain.